Alright, welcome back to Ace Combat Zero, where we are just going to be diving right into Chapter 10, Mayhem. Actually no, before we start, a little bit of random localization trivia. So there's going to be a lot going on in this mission. I'm not going to have time to talk about everything while everything's happening, especially on top of everything that's going to be, well, fighting me. So random bit of localization trivia. The enemy aces we're going to be fighting this time had a slight change to their name in the English translation. Not the name itself, I think it was still the same, but their title. It's something that doesn't translate particularly well into English. I don't remember the exact Japanese phrase either, but basically it is a unit of soldiers that stays near the back lines, and their job is more or less to make sure the front lines keep moving forward by any means necessary. They're, you know, more or less enforcers. If you know a lot about World War II history, for example, you probably heard stories about how, you know, Russian soldiers fighting in Stalingrad would be shot if they tried to retreat or surrender. So think basically like that, but, well, with planes. So we are going to be checking out our new Terminator. This is a real beast of a plane compared to anything we've had so far. And we've also unlocked its special colors already. I think I'll just stay with standard. They don't really look all that different, to be honest. This is purely air-to-air. Our new friend from Crow Team. See ya, PJ.
The round table's nothing special. I'll take care of things. Our support's here. Who did they send us? Our AFF has confirmed it's gone. The reinforcement team is gone. The guy who pulled out Talber's sword is here. Be careful. We've still got to get the job done. I'll put that Uzi mercenary in his place. Don't give up. It's not over yet. I'll shoot him down and make a name for myself. You don't have what it takes to fly in the round table. The enemy threat level is down. Continue to engage. There's so many of them. Wizard 1 here. The enemy has broken formation. Take him out.
Hey, Wizard 1. Good to see ya.
Larry, can you read me? Looks like you still got the touch. It's happening just as you thought. Time to get fired up, boys. The commander's plane is gone. Confirm our chain of command. They're attacking without mercy. They plan on burning everything. That was still mercenary. Damn him. He's turning the tide of battle in their favor. Can't be human. It's like a demon. I've never seen anything like it. That kind of pilot, we call a demon lord. Wizard 1 to all units. Belgia's days are over. Let's wrap this up. Gold revived our front line. Those mercenaries are going to get all the credit again. I fight for peace. That's what I'm up here for. While you're up here fighting for peace, tons of blood is being shed on the ground. Some peace, kid. And I'm here to put an end to that. You think you can stop bloodshed by shedding more blood? Flying with all those ideals swimming around in your head is gonna get you killed. Calm team. Multiple craft approaching. Something's wrong. Stay alert. George Leader to all units. Escaping craft is headed this way. It's Hookavine. Don't let your guard down. Another one's coming. That plane. Is that the Vulture? There's an annoying fly in the enemy. Alright, change of plans. We'll deal with the escaped craft later. Guess they've come to pick on the dead again.
So, an enemy plane just went flying by really, really quickly, followed by the enemy's enforcer unit. That is Huckabine the Raven. Well, bye Huckabine.
Warning, the enemy's locked onto you. Those mercenaries smell of money and death. They're nothing but vultures, scavenging for profit through the blood of others. Missile launched. Missile evaded. Watch out, the enemy's locked onto you. Missile off target. Missile off target. Go 2, no special weapons fire remaining. Radar lock. About half the Belkin fighters have been shot down. You can win this. Another aircraft? Push on it now. Demon offensive. So that pilot is the Demon Lord? All planes, we don't have time to go game hunting out here. What the hell happened? Locked on! Warning, the enemy's locked onto you. Shack on the target. This is Pixie. I just bagged a bandit. Golem 1, Fox 2. Missed. Approaching gun range. Yeah! Cypher just bagged a bandit!
Oh, it's nice to be back in a plane that feels really responsive.
All targets within combat airspace are down. Operation complete. Yo, buddy. You still alive?
We were victorious in the B-7R engagement. The round table is finally toppled. According to our reports, the squadron led by that enemy ace in the Foxhound was the one designated to intercept and destroy fleeing aircraft. Thanks to you, our force's morale is skyrocketing.
Yeah, weird that they had a deserter. The deserter only appears if you are playing as a mercenary. I no longer particularly care about my ace style. It was just for this mission, or this variant of this mission. Now, I forget whether the requirements are that you are playing in... I think it might be only if you're playing in Soldier, or it might be only in New Game Plus. There is another unit that can show up there besides Ukabine the Raven, called Heartbreak 1, who is an allied Osean plane. In canon, both Heartbreak 1 and Ukabine the Raven get shot down there.
My pulse raced at the astounding accomplishments of the mercenary known as Demon Lord. I forgot about my job and read everything I had on hand. Around the time Demon Lord received his nickname, South Belka showed signs of weariness regarding the war. Because the region was set up as a defense line to protect the birthplace of Belka in the north, the people's dissatisfaction had reached a climax. The cities declared themselves demilitarized and peacefully surrendered to the Allied forces. Unable to establish a defensive position, the Belkan army kept retreating to the north. The end of the war was fast approaching. I was given an opportunity to interview the former aces of the Belkan Air Force. Back then, they were the masters of the sky, and they had also known him. So I crossed the border to follow his trail. I wanted to capture the war and the Demon Lord from their point of view, to capture the voices of those who were there. Rot Team Commander, former member of the Belkan Air Force, 2nd Air Division, 52nd Tactical Fighter Squadron, Detlef Fleischer. also known as the Red Swallow. With his skill and demeanor, he was practically a poster boy for the armed forces. Today, he is a professor of history at the University of Dinsmark.
Back then, I was bursting with pride. I wanted to lead us to victory, for Belka's honor. Staying where it was nice and warm wouldn't accomplish anything. My flight's mission was to maintain air superiority in Area B7R, an essential area that we couldn't allow to be violated. That day, when I heard the order from HQ for reinforcements, I became angry. The station force was in chaos because of just 2 mercenaries. There was no way the mighty Belkan Air Force could lose to mere mercenaries. My pride was shot, and the round table was defiled. What went wrong? Whatever it may be, the fact remains I was forced to walk a different path in life than the one I had envisioned.
Gelb Teams Number 2, former member of the Belkan Air Force, 5th Air Division, 23rd Tactical Fighter Squadron, Rainer Altman. He flew the skies of Directus during the capital's liberation, and he's still there to this day.
I met him above this very sky. I can still hear the sound of the missile alerts from that day. I received an order to fly to Directus on my way back from an intercept mission on the southern defense line. The order itself wasn't unusual. We kept being deployed from one mission to the next without receiving even the basic maintenance. But the situation was the same all around. We were late reaching the operational space. The station squadrons had already retreated, and warning bells were going off in the city. And the people were looking up to his plane, high above the sky. He pursued me relentlessly. As soon as I thought I'd shook him off, there he was again. The never-ending sound of the missile alerts put fear in my heart for the first time.
This man was head of the command group and was known as the Vulture. Schwartz Team Commander, Dominik Zubov, former member of the Belkan Air Force, 13th Night Fighter Air Division, 6th Tactical Fighter Squadron. He fled after the final battle in order to avoid prosecution for various war crimes. He is still on the run and being hunted as an escaped killer.
Sorry about the accommodations. Goes with the business. I'm not active during the day. Back then, I was a shadow assassin, an escapee killer. Given the order, I'd even shoot down my own comrades. I received an order to take down deserting craft on that day. It was a typical assignment. But something unexpected happened. My target was no new recruit, but a top ace of the Belkan Air Force.
And he just had to go and run straight into the chaos at the round table.
The man was sharp, just like the rumors.
But that wasn't the problem.
The problem was that the mercenary team of Solo Wing and him were there.
Thanks to them, I lost my target.
I figured the least I could do was take them down in return. Of course, that was where my luck ran out.
Every time I flew with him, his skill stood out. He was unstoppable. It didn't matter where the battlefield was. The man had complete trust in his own powers. He was born for battle. A demon lord who struck down all opposition. He paid no heed to the troubles of those who flew with him. Before long, everyone had taken notice of him. More and more would show up to watch him go off on sortie. Mercenaries or maintenance crew, it didn't matter. People wanted to burn his image to their memories. Hell, they weren't the only ones.
God, it is such a great narrative style.
The Belkan forces are beginning to take flight. The industrial city of Hoffnung is crucial to the enemy's industrial strategy and the heart of its war productions. The Allied forces have decided that all Belkan war production must be stopped to expedite the end of the war, and has requested our participation in this operation. The operation will primarily involve the bombing of ground facilities by the Allied forces' bombers. Your mission is to support those bombers and attack enemy facilities. We have achieved near total air supremacy over the target area, but don't let your guard down. There may still be sporadic resistance.
You might have noticed that the 3 interviews were taken right after that ace split. And as you can guess, you get different interviews depending on your ace style and therefore which enemy squadrons you fight. You'll always get the Gelb, you know, the guy who was fighting at Directus and ended up working in Directus. But the other 2 are, no, not random, but they're of whatever other squadrons you end up fighting. I do find it interesting how Shore's team leader ends up basically running a smuggling ring in Osea. One of them heads back to Belka, and the last ends up working in Directus. Also, I want to shout out the great sound design on the interview scenes. Like, you can even hear Pixie's rifle straps rustling around as he moves his gun. It's a detail that could... Oops, that was not what I wanted.
The Belkan forces are beginning
Detail
to
they
take flight.
absolutely could have ignored. They didn't. How about one more time? Yeah, the down key is a little bit sticky on this controller. Since I didn't use it against Excalibur, we're going to use it now. Yeah, we got a little bit of money to burn. Taking the FAE bomb. Pretty sure this mission is 90% air to ground. It's just a handful of planes to fight. I really don't want a dogfight in a Thunderbolt. It's so we have the advanced air-to-ground missile. Really great. Targets up to 4 ground targets. Best part about it is that it goes in high, and then when it's over the target, it drops straight down. Which means you don't, well, I mean, you don't get to ignore the direction buildings are, but you don't have to worry about them quite as much. We're going to be taking the FAE bomb. And we'll let Pixie have his anti-air missiles. Just in case I'm wrong about there not being many airs thingies. What do you call them? Planes?
Calm 2 to all units. I've confirmed a burning city up ahead. That must mean the bombing started.
Oh, I can't see jack shit.
Allied bombers, eliminate them.
Well,
All ground and aerial threats.
no option for brightness. Where's my remote? Maybe I can fix the control stuff. No, I mean, I actually can't see anything. I know this mission is particularly dark, but
Remove Belka's ability to counterattack. Priority is placed on destruction over accuracy.
no, this isn't gonna work. Alright, menu. brightness. Ooh. Oh no, that's the contrast. Okay, brightness. The menu go away. Well, that's a little better.
Initiate bombing sequence. Drop all. Turn it to ashes. That's not enough. Drop more bombs. I thought they were on a precision bombing mission. They're just tossing bombs all over the place. Radar lock. Reaches our facilities. Locked on. SAM destroyed. A Tomahawk just hit the city. Are those guys serious? AA guns destroyed. Warning, the enemy's tracking you on radar.
This thing is a bit of an aerial tank, but it still can't take 2 missiles.
Locked on. Attention Allied fighters. Our tank unit's advancing to Sector 2. Some Falcon planes are giving us trouble. Take down those planes for us. This is PJ. Something strange is going on down there. The number of burning areas just suddenly increased. All units. This is an order from all
Nobody knew why they were fighting anymore. All I felt at that point was sadness for the world. That's why I...
Boy, that's the complete narrative opposite
Pursued
feeling
by
of the
Allied
Battle
forces,
of Directus.
The Belkan forces have taken flight, abandoning Hoffnung. Without military production capabilities, Belka is in a bind. We were also able to confiscate samples of what seemed to be experimental weapons from the abandoned war factories, before Belka had time to use them.
It's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. So much worse.
There are still pockets of resistance holed up in the industrial city of Sudentor. Although fleeing, the Belkan army continues to fight back, and are using the Valdreich Mountains as a final line of defense, in an attempt to prevent our army from reaching northern Belka. For this mission, we would like you to assist the Allied ground troops by clearing the skies of enemy fighters. The South Belka munitions factory is located in Sudentor, which means the remaining troops, although few in number, are well outfitted. Head to the designated operations rendezvous location at point 203.
How many girlfriends have you had, huh? Is she your first? I had a girlfriend in high school.
Crow Team, do you read me? Head for Valdreich to take out any remnant forces the Belkans could have positioned out there. Gom 2, what's the problem? You're behind.
Don't worry, I'll catch up. This is PJ from Crow Team. Gom 2, is there a problem with your craft? No, I'm just sad.
Steyr Castle, huh? Yep, just us and Crow Team.
Emergency transmission from Allied HQ. A Belkan bomber squadron equipped with nuclear weapons has taken off for Ustio.
What?
Enemy bombers are approaching this airspace. Gom Team, Crow Team, head to intercept.
Crow 1, roger. Crow 2, moving to engage enemy. I'll stop them. This war would end if they blew everything up.
Pixie. It's not helpful thinking, Pixie.
according to plan. No changes are necessary at this time. We can't let them use those nukes!
Do whatever it takes to stop them.
There's someone down there I have to protect.
Prepare to engage enemy. 5 miles remaining. 4 miles remaining.
I see them! Enemy fighters with nukes!
This is Eagle Eye to GOM 1. Only take out the bombers. Don't let any slip through. GOM 1 is down.
It did not even occur to me that I could crash into the bombers.
So how many girlfriends have you had, huh? Is she your first? I had a girlfriend in high school.
Crow Team, do you read me? Head for Voltreich to take out any remnant forces the Belkans could have positioned out there. GOM 2, what's the problem? You're behind.
Don't worry, I'll catch up. This is PJ from Crow Team. GOM 2, is there a problem with your craft? Nah, I'm just sad.
Emergency transmission from Allied HQ. A Belkan bomber squadron equipped with nuclear weapons has taken off for Ustio.
What?
Enemy bombers are approaching this airspace. GOM Team, Crow Team, head to intercept.
Crow 1, roger. Crow 2, moving to engage enemy. I'll stop them. This war would end if they blew everything up. We can't let them use those nukes!
Now,
Do whatever it takes to stop
I
them.
know I normally say it's a lot easier if you deal with the ads first,
If we let them drop even one nuke, there's no stopping them.
but there is a reason not to in this mission.
Prepare to engage enemy. 5 miles remaining. 4 miles remaining.
Not just being stupid for once.
I see them! Enemy fighters with nukes!
This is Eagle Eye to GOM 1. Only take out the bombers. Don't let any slip through.
Not that my advanced weapon will discriminate that much.
Two planes. No, 3 planes are down. But this has no bearing on our plans. We must carry out our duty. Crew 3 to AWACS. There are too many enemy crafts. Please identify the craft with the nuclear weapon.
You'll have to shoot all of them down. To all units in this airspace, stop the nuclear attack. Shoot down all Belkan bombers. If we even miss one of those bombers, we lose.
Yes, because whichever one we miss will magically be the one that had the nuke.
Stay calm. Get ready. Warning. Change course immediately. Return to base or you'll be shot down. The enemy's attacking each other? Eliminate anyone who attempts to interfere. They're no longer our allies. Don't hesitate to shoot them down.
That's right.
Don't
Infighting
worry
in the
about
Belkan
that now.
army.
Just concentrate on shooting down those bombers.
This is perfect. Let's use it against them. All planes confirmed down. We did it.
Easy, right?
There's no impossible jobs jobs for us mercenaries. Freedom and wheat, Falcons. Huh? What the?
Separate ways.
We were unable to confirm if the enemy squadron you engaged was equipped with nuclear weapons. We don't know all the details yet, but multiple nuclear detonations have been verified within the Belkan border. It is also unclear whether or not Galm 2, who disappeared during the mission, is still alive. We will continue our search efforts, but at this point there's not much hope. Our communications network is still down due to the nuclear explosions. Remain on standby until conditions improve.
June 6th, 1995. I was still in school at the time, but I'll never forget the images I saw on the news that day. The Belkans set off 7 nuclear explosions on their own soil. Maybe their old militaristic leaders couldn't stand the idea of Allied forces invading their land, and declared to the world that the land to the north was the Holy Land of Belka. According to official records, more than 12,000 people died. It was a grand self-sacrifice that engulfed all. The only thing remaining was the desolate landscape. How did the people of Belka feel about what they saw? And what did he think of it when he looked down on it from the sky?
We have discovered remaining enemy troops gathered in the Yering Mine area in northwest Belka. Numerous divisions of the Belkan army refuse to accept the change in government and are disobeying the command to disband. Your mission is to clear out the remaining Belkan troops, and if the reports are accurate, there are still plenty of them. The Higher Lark base, located in Osean territory, has been arranged for your refueling. If your tank is low, go there and they'll help you out. To compensate for the losses in Galm Team, Crow Team will be joining you. We're counting on your best performance yet.
Well, Pixie's gone. Can't afford the Strike Eagle. Man, nothing going right today, huh? Well, if we sell the Thunderbolt, we can get the Strike Eagle. It's fine. This is an upper mid-tier plane. Really, probably the best anti-ground unit outside of maybe the secret plane you can unlock. Of course, the secret plane is anti-everything. Guided penetration bomb. We haven't seen this. The SAAM either. Basically, for both of these, you lock on to either a ground target or a air target. You have to keep them in front of yourself for a few seconds while the missile travels, or the bomb drops. And it just does extra range, extra damage, extra precision. Really useful for, it's really good for ships, I think. This can target ships. Most ground targets don't have enough health to really justify it. I guess the Excalibur fight would be good use for it. And the semi-active air-to-air missile, it's got a really long range, but it's kinda outshone by some of the other options. We will be using is the self-forging fragment munitions, I think. Submunitions. This is... almost no planes have this. It is the FAE bomb on steroids. You can see we're no longer equipping Pixie, we are now equipping PJ. All held the finite and infinite as unrelated. None could foresee that the history of the two would become one.
You are cleared for takeoff.
Forgot forgot about this place.
Altitude restrictions canceled. Return to your mission. Good luck. Golem 1, this is PJ. I will now join you as Golem 2. I'll be flying under your command now. Give me orders at any time. It's an honor to fly as Golem's number 2.
Yeah, that's nice.
And by the way, PJ stands for Patrick James. And I like to play polo. You know, the game with the horses. Maybe we should get going now.
The return line is located on the west side of the operation airspace. Pass over this line whenever you need repairs or supplies.
Oh god, my asthma's been really bad the last few days.
Pixie. I guess we won't be flying the skies together anymore.
Don't speak his name.
Bomblet dispenser launch.
Enemy aircraft spotted. Hide in the forest. We've got company. Apparently Ustio's Demon Lord has arrived.
Missile evaded. Bomblet dispenser launch.
Wow, these are not spreading out as much as I would like. I think I'm too low.
Locked on.
Warning! The enemy's locked onto you!
SAM destroyed. GOM 1, missile launched.
Let's just follow this river for a little bit. Something about following this river nice and low and slow is kind of relaxing. Boy, do we need it right now.
Missile launched.
Ooh, flat guns. That's a rare enemy.
That's what they're here for. Radar lock.
So, Belka still has an organized platoon.
Enemy ship has been sunk. GOM 1, missile launched. Locked on. GOM 1, Bucks 2.
I'm just sad. Let's go see what's going on in this big cluster.
Are you sure there's only 2? Confirm.
Radar lock.
Have you released the moorings on the transport ship? That is one huge facility. Is all ammo loaded up on the ship? I should be able to see the big picture, just like Golem 1. Damn, counterattacks are difficult.
Your tunnel, huh?
What's that huge hangar for?
All planes have left the hangar.
I'm taking care of the information. Starting to taxi. The transport planes are preparing to leave the area. What's going on here?
Missile launched. Missile hit.
God, these things can take a beating.
Radar lock. Missile off target.
Let's not let this one get away.
GOM 1, missile launched.
Target destroyed.
Our tests will guarantee that the operation is carried out successfully. Maintain course to the point of assembly. This is the start of a new millennium.
Won't particularly need to destroy everything. Just a few of the
Missile launch.
juicier targets.
Radar lock. Bomblet dispenser launch. Don't panic. Just keep working. The enemy threat level is down. Continue to engage.
That's the last thing I wanted to hear. Only we could have shot it down. Does the demon lord still hunger for sacrifices?
Box 2. Radar lock.
You're worth 500 points? Okay, yeah.
Warning, the enemy's tracking you on radar. Break, missile. No special weapons fire remaining. Box 2.
Fox 2!
You are the 15E Strike Eagles. Ace. Hi.
Missed.
Take that. Thank you. $11 missiles left. 5,000 more points. Yeah, that's not happening. Pretty sure you're going to be worth a pretty penny of points.
Warning, the enemy's
Not
tracking
quite
you
enough.
on radar.
Damn, it didn't connect!
Missile off target.
Stealth fighters are a little bit harder to fight with them flickering in and out on the radar. Could be a little harder
Warning,
to
the enemy's locked on
figure
you.
out their heading. And whether you have a good missile shot.
Missile break. Locked on.
Nope.
Box 2.
That range I can only play myself, though.
GOM 2, special weapons are almost gone!
Oh yeah. Forgot, I think stealth planes also have a longer lock-on
The
time.
enemy threat level has dropped off even more. Radar lock.
740 points. Yeah. I've taken out that many yellow targets this round.
Oh man, he dodged it!
There's a
Warning, the enemy's tracking you on
good
radar!
number in the upcoming missions too, I think. Which aren't score attack.
Locked on. Missile off target.
S2, make it count.
Missile hit.
Gotta return for 2,000 points. Ooh. It's 3 planes. A couple of ground targets. How many points is an AA gun worth? Oh, but I can actually get them with its positioning if I'm using my guns. I don't see the value. Oh, I can't see the value because I can't lock onto it. Because I don't have missiles. It's interesting. I'm assuming I can't just let PJ deal with it. Attack helicopters. That should be worth a few points. It's still very gunnable.
We'll be the last platoon to withdraw. Hold out until then.
300?
Chopper
Okay.
down.
You'll have to chase them too far. Don't forget what we're trying to accomplish. Column 2, no special weapons fire remaining.
You used an advanced missile on a helicopter? Okay, PJ. Do you?
This war should be over already. Why would they do this after all that's happened?
And this'll do it. Yeah, who needs to refuel?
All attack targets have been destroyed. Comm team, not bad for a couple of rookies.
Whew. All right.
The mission to clear out remaining Belkan resistance was a success. As to the intended purpose for using the giant hangar described in the report, rest assured that intelligence is looking into the matter. We've received a report that remaining Belkan troops are converging on Belka's northeast coast of Anfang. The enemy is deploying land, sea, and airstrike teams. These troops refuse to accept the Belkan interim government's official capitulation and are adamantly resisting. In light of the current political situation, this mission will be a top-secret operation carried out entirely by mercenaries. The mission will be called Operation Bloom, and will be divided into 3 separate areas. The Mars Strike Team will attack enemy naval vessels and surface troops along the coast. The Mercury Strike Team will engage land units and enemy fighters that are using a tunnel as a makeshift airbase. The Jupiter Strike Team will be responsible for maintaining air superiority after the Mars and Mercury teams have completed their missions. This operation will begin at 1600, when the capitulation ceremony takes place in Lumen. Mars team will strike first, followed by Mercury and then Jupiter.
Now, the last
Choose carefully which team you wish to join. That is all.
The last 4 missions are all primarily anti-air. So we'll do one last anti-ground. We haven't had nearly enough naval combat. Don't worry, we'll get our fill of that when we play Ace Combat 5. Jeez, I'd have to sell my strike eagle to get an FAE bomb. That's not worth it. Long-range air-to-ground missile. Like the advanced long-range air-to-ground missile, it goes in high and then drops when it's right over the target. Really helps with missions like this, where there is cover for the enemy units.
Remnant forces assembled at the coastline.
Roger, it's about time. I wish I could adapt to the flow of battle like Cypher. I'll do my best.
Adapt to the flow of battle. That is another one of those lines that varies depending on your ace style.
We're broadcasting live from the signing ceremony here in Lubin. Senior officials from each nation have come here in hopes of a peaceful solution.
That was bad.
I'm gonna put an end to this war.
Yeah.
Draw one is down!
I was about to say, if I'm gonna make stupid mistakes like that, I should probably just go ahead and restart now.
Comm team, take out Belka's remnant forces assembled at the coastline.
I wish I could adapt to the flow of battle like Cypher. I'll do my best.
I believe PJ has one more line at the very end that changes based on
We're
your ace
broadcasting
style.
live from the signing ceremony here in Lubin. Senior officials from each
So
nation
many
have come here
Sams.
in hopes of a peaceful solution.
Draw one is down!
Really, really wish I could have afforded an FAV bomb. It makes this mission so much easier. Honestly, a little tempted to go back and get it.
Comm team, take out Belka's remnant
Because,
forces
boy,
assembled at the coastline.
trying to not greed those targets.
I wish
Very
I could adapt to the flow of battle like Cypher. I'll do my best.
Plus, the fact I'm not a knight means that I have a bad tendency to lock onto gold targets.
We're broadcasting live from the signing ceremony here in Lubin. Senior officials from each nation have come here in hopes of a peaceful solution.
I'm gonna put an end to this war.
What hit me? AA gun? We're fine.
Today's signatures will ratify an agreement which calls for the disarmament of Belka.
Please, please stop aiming at the
Belka's military
houses.
forces will be reduced, and tension with neighboring countries will come to an end.
Really? That
The
hit me?
agreement will be covered in detail at a later broadcast. Make them cancel the ceasefire right. Dawn 1 is going down.
You know what? If the houses want to cause me this much grief that I can't even fight, now I am going for war crimes. Question is if I care.
I wish I could adapt to the flow of battle like Cypher. I'll do my best.
Let's see, the next mission doesn't have a lot of ability to change my ace slider, so I have to be mostly good.
We're broadcasting live from the signing ceremony here in Lumen. Senior officials from each nation have come here in hopes of a peaceful solution.
I'm gonna put an end to this war.
Today's signatures will ratify an agreement which calls for the disarmament of Belka.
Let's take the aim.
Belka's military forces will be reduced, and tension with neighboring countries will come to an end. The agreement
like
will
it
be
said,
covered in detail at a later
did
broadcast.
ask a question earlier that sounded stupid at the time, but when it comes to asking what is peace in this type of situation, I mean,
According to our sources, the
there is
agreement
an
also
official
touches on the
ceasefire,
possession of nuclear
but
armaments.
people are still clearly fighting because they haven't accepted the ceasefire.
Nevertheless, the great war that enveloped the eastern countries and cost the lives of so many has finally come to an end.
This battle should put an end to the war.
Yeah, well, they've said that about multiple battles at this point. So, you know,
Using nukes didn't solve anything. How would Pixie find this battle?
like,
This is Golem 2. Something's wrong. There's too many to be remnant forces.
even in historical perspective, what will they define as the actual end of the Belkan War?
I'm gonna bury the Demon Lord here.
You're a ship, shut up.
Why are they still fighting? Why don't they understand?
Approaching gun range.
Shoot them into the frigid sea.
Oh shit, the missiles
Radar locked.
coming from the ship.
Shack on the target.
Have you massed the ground forces? Looks 2. The zone is sinking. Evil troops, can you hear me? Give me a status report. We're sinking. Abandoned ship, youngest to oldest.
Bandit down.
Shoot down, this one won't rise.
What?
Golem 1 is
Wait.
going down.
Where did that... Every time. Get another slightly larger urge to go buy that big bomb.
Assembled at the coastline.
I wish I could adapt to the flow of battle like Cypher. I'll do my best.
Especially since it's completely useless in every mission after this.
We're broadcasting live from the signing ceremony here in Lumen. Senior officials from each nation have come here in hopes of a peaceful
Sam,
solution.
give me the Sam, give me the Sam. Fucking thank you.
I'm gonna put an end to this war.
Give me the AA gun.
Today's signatures will ratify an agreement which calls for the disarmament of Belka.
Fucking lock onto the
Belka's
thing that
military
is
forces
right
will
in
be
front of my
reduced, and tension
nose.
with neighboring countries will come to an end.
Huh, I didn't know those tanks could actually escape the battle area. Interesting.
The agreement will be covered in detail at a later broadcast.
Is that all of them?
According to our sources, the agreement also touches on the possession of nuclear armaments. Nevertheless, the Great War that enveloped the Eastern countries and cost the lives of so many has finally come to an end.
This battle should put an end to the war. They still have a lot of firepower left. Using nukes didn't solve anything. How would Pixie fly in this battle?
Well, he'd probably fly it behind me and shoot me in the back.
Something's wrong. There's too many to be remnant forces.
So what happened last time Pixie was flying into battle with me?
Don't let them interfere with our departure. The war is over. What are you doing? I'm gonna ferry the demon over here. Why are they still fighting?
That's probably what killed me last time. It's an Aegis ship. Basically, a fucking AA gun on the water.
Locked on.
Did I get it?
Maintenance still isn't finished. Get it done in the next 5 minutes.
It wasn't a missile that killed me, it was just AA fire. That's why I was confused. Right. I forgot that ships can become neutral targets if you cripple their guns. I forget if you have to cripple their guns and damage them and it's random, or if it's just cripple their guns. Shit!
SAM destroyed. Break missile.
Where'd that missile come from?
Locked on.
Jesus, I was close last time.
The Belkan remnant forces have been completely eliminated. Well done,
What
Golf
an
team.
obnoxious mission if you aren't playing as a
Today
mercenary.
is a day of hope. A day in which tension between different countries will be greatly reduced.
But is it peace, though?
This is no remnant resistance. This war's not over yet.
Thanks to your help, the operation was a success. The ceremony was also conducted without any trouble. We are still investigating why so many enemy forces were converging together, but have succeeded in cutting off the remaining resistance forces from the rest of the Belkan army.
I might have let too many yellows live this time. Cutting it close. Don't think there are many in the upcoming missions, other than planes randomly getting it. But I need to make sure to destroy every single yellow I see from here on. The only mission that I really wanted a particular ace style was 10.
June
But
20th,
since I'm close.
1995. A treaty declaring a cessation of hostilities was signed in Lumen, a city on the border of South Belka and Osea. It was a one-sided treaty that heavily favored Osea. The borders of the affected countries that fluxed greatly over the past years finally settled down at the cost of many human lives. The battlefield shifted to the tables, and the politicians from all countries squabbled with each other over the rights to the underground natural resources, the initial cause of this war. 6 months passed without any developments. 6 months of void. I focused on this time period for the hidden truth laid there. And I learned that my pursuit of him was not a mistake.
Operation Valkyrie.
The top officers in the Belkan army have pulled a coup d'etat. Calling their organization a world with no boundaries, the forces bombed the city of Lumen, where the cessation of hostilities treaty was signed, using a giant gunship codenamed XBO. Your mission is to pursue the XBO and... Wait! We've just received an emergency transmission from the control tower. Unidentified aircraft are approaching our base. Scramble all planes. Quick, there's no time! Get into the air immediately!
Back to how it all started.
Warning, heavy ECMs. We're now on Cold Horn alert. Visual confirmation of craft approaching the base. Everyone head to your boats. This is Com 2. Control tower, situation report. Fire! Unidentified craft entering our airspace. Here they come. Take them out of the way.
How did you bomb Lumen? And still have enough bombs left over for us?
It can even be the GOM team. Send them up. Emergency launch! Hurry! We don't have any spare planes. I equipped this plane myself. Bring it back in one piece.
I'm gonna.
Ground zero. No signs of life.
Our base has suffered extensive damage. GOM team, we're counting on you.
Yeah,
Warning,
this is
unknown craft on radar. Initiate operation.
We have to go into battle. The big target's easier to hit.
So, here's what was in that giant hangar. We just missed it.
Target XBO sighted. Espada 1 to Espada 2. It's time to stop the Demon Lord. This is Espada 2. Roger. Lead the way.
We're allied with Sapin.
It's the one who destroyed our base.
Guys, we're allied with Sapin.
GOM 1, GOM 2, commence the attack on XBO. XBO must be destroyed. It's the only way to prevent a world with no boundaries.
Espada team, shoot down those XBO flies. That Demon Lord has gotten to be quite an eyesore.
Wait, we're engaging friendly aircraft. These are Sapin fighters. Ustio, 6th Air Division to Sapin aircraft. Cease attack immediately. improve the fight against the Sappan forces.
Demon Lord, does he think he can win without fighting for a cause? Esparatu, report your status. We don't know what to expect from them.
XBO will be out of combat airspace in 20 miles. Move it!
Roger, it's about time.
Where the fuck are you, PJ?
Not bad. His movement is pretty good. The Espada team was shot down? Both of them? You can't be serious. We can run that.
Yeah, I do not care about the ads. I am on a time limit to take this big thing out. PJ can deal with the ads. I mean, he can't. But, you know, I can tell him to.
Locked on. Missile launched.
You're ready for an aerial man. You know what to do, right?
Golem 1, Fox 2.
I really don't feel like getting shot down today, man. Warning! The enemy's locked onto you!
XBO will be out of combat airspace in 10 miles. It's your last chance.
Where is it? How did I lose sight of something that big?
Getting close. We're shut down and some more.
Special weapons are almost gone.
Shut down Block D. What's happening with damage control?
All anti-air weapons on the upper half of XBO have been destroyed. Way to go.
Regardless of size, if you're on Golem 1's hit list, you're as good as gone.
Get some attacks in around the XBO cockpit. That should mess up his steering. The XBO
Needless
has
to
been
say,
stripped
you
of
can
all defenses.
crash into
Take
that
her out,
one.
Golem team.
The XBO's taking the death blow. It was Cypher. Cypher did it.
A little closer than I would have liked.
Nice work, Golem team. Operation complete.
Our death is not the end of everything. The rest is up to you. There's a coded message on the radio. Decrypting message. Yo, buddy, you still alive?
Thanks to you, the XBO has been shot down. However, our base was heavily damaged in the surprise attack. The squadron that you engaged consisted of Sappan and Osean fighters. We're currently investigating the situation. Once we determine the location of the Renegade organization, we will launch a counterinsurgency operation.
Unfortunately, I do think the end of this game is a little rushed. Could have used 2 or 3 missions to kinda... I don't want to say pad it out a little bit, but add a little more sauce or something. Just to kind of give you some time to ease into all the differences. Once more, back to the round table.
We have confirmed that the aircraft that attacked our base belonged to the major rebel organization, A World With No Boundaries. This highly organized renegade army is comprised of soldiers from numerous countries, including Osea, Sappan, and of course Belka. They are believed to possess a massive arsenal of weapons. The coup forces are gathered at Mud, in northern Belka, where they've confiscated the Avalon Dam facility from the Belkan army. What's worse, we've discovered that this facility houses an experimental V2 weapon. Unfortunately, it took us a long amount of time to uncover this information due to the facility's location beneath the dam's waters. Proceed immediately to Avalon and destroy the V2 weapon. Note that B7R blocks your route from Valais Air Base to Mud. You will most likely encounter fierce resistance from the crew forces at both B7R and Mud. Remember to be prepared for attacks from land, air, or elsewhere when choosing which aircraft to pilot. This mission will succeed upon the destruction of the V2 at the target area and your safe return to base. Now go destroy that weapon and come back in one piece. Anything else is unacceptable.
Alright, I don't feel like he really explains it well, but the next 3 missions. What you pick right now as you're playing, that's what you get from here until the end. So I'm going to drop a save just to be safe. So, I did say it was mostly anti-air from here on. There is some anti-ground, but not enough that you need to worry about bringing an FAE bomb or anything like that. Your normal missiles are more than enough for it. Come loaded for air combat. And once again, we have a split of what enemy A squadron will be fighting at the round table. All 3 of them are kind of interesting, but I chose the soldier one for a reason.
Your final sortie. Alright, launch preparations complete.
I mean, you say it's our final sortie, but you've said that multiple times now, I think. Anyway, pretty much every mission in this game advances the story in some meaningful way. It doesn't feel like... It feels like maybe one of 2 of them feel like padding. It's not like they don't have anything going on, but, you know. I feel like the Belka surrendering and everything just comes... not out of nowhere, it's very obvious that we're going to lose.
I'll be back.
But it comes without fanfare, which maybe that's the point. There is one more thing I haven't mentioned about this game.
Pass through B7R. It's an awful place, but the fastest shortcut. Maintain concourse.
What was I saying? Right, so to fight all 11 of the enemy ace squadrons, you'll always have Gelb, you'll always have Espada. But then there are 3 times that it splits based on your ace status. You have to play through the game 3 times
Enemy aircraft
and beat
detected close to area B7R.
all 11 of the enemy ace
There's
squadrons.
no time to change course. Eliminate enemy forces in the round table and break through it.
And that unlocks a special mission that can only be played in free play mode.
North 1 to all units. Begin the operation.
Oh. Whoops.
Metro Victor, be justice. Demon Lord of the Round Table. I was hoping to meet you under different circumstances.
That's not a
You
good
don't
start.
have time to play around with them. Hurry up and shoot them all down.
There's no meaning in the Round Table anymore. What are you fighting for?
I thought we would be up
The
against
enemy fighters seem to be
Wizard
highly skilled.
Squadron.
Don't allow them to take control of the battle.
In that case, Wizard Squadron must be the Knight
What
boss.
are you doing? The war's ended long ago.
The table is surrounded by politicians who have never placed a foot on the battlefield. It's a necessary discussion to build a peaceful world. It's a disgusting squabble on who gets the largest share of the pie, and that's why it needs to end. What do you mean? It is for that duty that we raise the king. That's why we're fighting.
So, god damn. If I remember right, I think the leader of Galt Team is the one who created a world with no boundaries.
Golem 1, Fox 2.
Wizard Team, who I guess is the Knight,
Will be the first to be shot down. Follow me if you want to survive.
Wizard Team is the one
Golem 1,
who showed up
misleaded.
to drag Pixie away in his fairy godmother carriage to hell.
Bandits down. Nice shooting.
One of the planes is down. I'll cover.
And I don't think there's actually anything interesting about the mercenary squadron. Sorcerer Squad.
Warning, the enemy's locked onto you.
The enemy is always locked onto me, guy.
Golem 1, missile evaded. Radar lock.
Golem 2, special weapons are almost gone.
Already?
Missile off target.
Missile evaded.
God. Thank God you get repaired between missions, because that would be
Captain, we can win this.
undoable, pretty much.
2, carry on. Don't be overwhelmed by the enemy's moves.
Don't go jousting at me either.
Another plane is down.
Dumbass.
Revised flight pattern. He's flying in unpredictable patterns.
Locked on.
Golem 1, awaiting your orders. Please respond.
Enemy forces have suffered.
Golem 1 is down.
Bad. Alright, let's do this again without taking a hit the second they appear.
Your final sortie.
Pass through B7R. It's an awful place, but the fastest shortcut. Maintain current course.
Alright, I just remembered there is one more guy who can show up here during Operation
Enemy
Mayhem.
aircraft detected close to
Operation
area
Battle Axe.
B7R.
And it's
There's no time to
Ashley
change course. Eliminate enemy
Phillips,
forces
I
in the
think is
round
his
table
name,
and break through it.
as a Belkin pilot.
North 1 to all units. Begin the operation. Metro Victor, be justice.
around with them. Hurry up and shoot them all down.
There's no meaning in the round table anymore. What are you fighting for?
The enemy fighters seem to be highly skilled. Don't allow them to take control of the battle.
They have an entire generation on me.
What are you doing? The war's ended long ago! The table is surrounded by politicians who have never placed a foot on the battlefield. It's a necessary discussion to build a peaceful world. It's a disgusting squabble on who gets the largest share of the pie, and that's why it needs to end. What do you mean?
I can understand being a grumpy Gus about it, but this feels like an overreaction.
That's why we're fighting. Don't feel overwhelmed by the enemy's moves. Take out the enemy in front.
Is that really not a hit?
Roger. Moving into action.
That was...
All 1, Box 2. Bandits in gun range.
Damn it, they make it look easy.
So did Pixie.
Locked on. Bandit down.
Looks like their flight lead is running the whole show.
Yeah, well, I know exactly how that feels.
Whoever breaks formation will be the first to be shot down. Follow me if you want to survive.
Bandits down. Nice shooting.
One of the planes is down. I'll cover. So this is the Demon Lord. There's something...
Gun 1 is going down.
If you can't pick off one or two really quick, this particular team can become a big problem.
Your final sortie.
Pass through B7R. It's an awful place, but the fastest shortcut. Maintain current course.
I still think the hardest ace fight is probably Gelb. Just because at that point in the game you don't have access to a ton of really great planes. This one...
Enemy aircraft
This
detected
one could
close
be
to
pretty
area
rough, too.
B7R. There's no time to change course. Eliminate enemy forces in the round table and break through it.
Demon Lord of the Round Table. I was hoping to meet you under different circumstances.
You don't have time to play around with them. Hurry up and shoot them all down.
There's no meaning in the round table anymore. What are you fighting for?
The enemy fighters seem to be highly skilled. Don't allow them to take control of the battle.
What are you doing? The war's ended long ago! The table is surrounded by politicians who have never placed a foot on the battlefield. It's a necessary discussion to build a peaceful world. It's a disgusting squabble on who gets the largest share of the pie, and that's why it needs to end. What do you mean? It is for that duty that we raised the king. That's why we're fighting.
Bandits down. Nice shooting.
One of the planes is down. I'll cover. So this is the Demon Lord. There's something about him.
Yes, I can win this, Pixie. PJ.
Carry on.
God, I miss him.
Fox 2! Missed!
Fox 2. Another plane is down. Revised flight pattern. He's firing in unpredictable patterns. Is this what it's like to fly in the Demon Lord sky? Maybe we're the ones caught in the mess. Gold 1, awaiting your orders. Please respond.
Enemy forces have suffered considerable damage. Comm team, you're almost there.
Demon Lord, what is it you hope to achieve on the battlefield?
Shutting you up.
Plane on lock.
I should be able to do this.
Yeah, you should.
Bandits in gun range. Golem 1, Fox 2.
This is only a checkpoint. I can't die yet.
And there was one.
Goldstone Nest has been broken through.
Fucking love that book.
It's ironic to meet this way.
Oh, thanks for getting one, PJ.
With no boundaries will eliminate all borders.
All enemy planes are down. There has been no change in plans. Stay on course to target destination.
I'll follow Cypher to the end.
This is nice, PJ.
It seems the coup force is serious. An Allied Forces squadron approaching from a different route should be arriving at the rendezvous point any time now. There's no time to return to base. After refueling in flight, get over to Avalon.
That's just mean. I unlock the Su-47 after I can't change planes.
I'll transmit the latest data we've received from the Allied forces. According to this, the dam is protected by an intensive anti-aircraft defense network. To deal with this, the Allied squadron will draw anti-aircraft fire to itself in the skies. Meanwhile, GOM team will join the Allied squad's Avalon Dam strike team and approach the target at low altitude through the canyon. That's the only way we stand a chance at succeeding. If you destroy the V-2 launch control facility, you should be able to stop the weapon from being fired. The V-2 will probably be equipped with a nuclear warhead. The destruction caused by its single warhead will most likely dwarf the damage inflicted by that tactical nuclear attack before. All the Allied forces will be mobilized for this full-scale operation. It seems this war doesn't want to come to an end. We must stop the V-2 launch. Hurry!
V-2, a cluster nuclear bomb. It's like the self-forging fragment submunitions weapon, splitting up in midair.
Pilots, check your plane and prepare for refueling.
Only it splits into nuclear bombs.
1 mile to refueling craft.
It's a little bit much. Also, I think this is the first midair refueling, isn't it?
500 yards to go.
This brings me back to Top Gun on the NES. How much of a pain this was on that. Of course, it wasn't actually that hard. I was just a kid.
100 yards to go. 50 yards to go.
Once I realized it literally says
Dom 1, maintain your current flight path.
the speed and angle and everything you need to land on the carrier in Top Gun. It's real freaking simple to do it from then on. Boy, nobody's gonna know what I'm talking about with Top Gun on the NES. Oh god, I'm old.
Comm team, keep low to the water on your approach to Avalon. You'll be shot down if you fly high. Get to the enemy fortress. Once you're close, increase altitude and fly over the dam.
This is PJ. If I'm with you, I know I can do it. I'll follow your lead. It's the Comm team. We've been waiting for you. Follow us and we'll escort you to Avalon. Keep it low and steady, Comm team. We'll handle any fighters. You're not the only pros.
Alright.
Guys above are taking the heat. Don't let them down.
Don't mind me answering a text message while I
You've passed the first
fly.
bridge.
If you fly too high, you die, like, basically immediately.
My left wing's hit. Sorry. Savage 4 pulling out. Joker 1's down. 10 planes left.
Joker!
You've passed the second bridge.
Damn, the wall. Joker 3's hit. 8 planes left. Gizmo 2, hang in there. It won't be long until Comm team takes out the V2.
You passed the third bridge.
Damn, Menace 2's been hit too. 5 planes left. I feel like I'm about to hurl. Enemy fighters at
Do it where I can't see.
No use, I can't shake them. Go on ahead. Comm 1, all hell's breaking loose above. Fly as low as possible to your target.
Altitude restrictions cancelled.
Who made it through? Gone? All planes, come on the attack above. Comm team will handle the V2. We're gonna stop it no matter what. I never want to see that Baron land again. V2 is ready for liftoff. Beginning countdown. 7 minutes to V2 launch.
There are 3 launch control devices positioned at the base of the dam. Destroy them all.
Oh shit, I can't see. The walls all looked identical to not walls. Hold on, I actually want to watch this for once. Oh, there was the tunnel. Ugh.
Pilots, check your plane and prepare.
Okay. I might switch off of this view because this glass kinda makes it a lot harder to parse.
Enemy fortress. Once you're close, increase altitude and fly over the dam.
This is PJ. If I'm with you, I know I can do it. I'll follow your lead.
Oh, shut up, PJ.
You've passed the first bridge.
Calm down. Y'all isn't the only team that can fight.
Yeah, we are.
Our guys above are taking the heat. Don't let them down.
Hurry, but keep it cool. You've passed the second bridge.
I wonder if maybe the reason it's kind of hard to see some stuff is because I'm playing on a not CRT
Joker 1's down. 10 planes left.
television.
Joker 4 disengaged.
So there's definitely some time when the graphics are a bit mussy.
Past the third bridge. Gizmo 2, hang in there. It won't be long until Golf Team takes out the V2. Domino 2 is down. 7 planes left. Joker 2 also went down. 6 planes left. Damn, Finish 2's been hit too. 5 planes left. I feel like I'm about to hurl. Enemy fighters at 6 o'clock. It's no use, I can't take them. They're on ahead. 2 planes are through. Who made it through? Gone? All planes, Charlie, take them up. Golf Team will handle the V2. We're gonna stop it no matter what. I never want to see that Baron land again.
Oh, that is so much more visible.
Ready for liftoff. Beginning countdown. 7 minutes to V2 launch.
Though this is also really,
There are 3 launch control devices positioned at the base of the dam.
Ah, there we
Destroy
go.
them all.
as weird as it is to not... Ooh. Oh yeah, this definitely feels weird, but at least I can actually see.
Carry out the new creation of destruction through the power of righteousness.
Hey, it's Wizard 1!
Territories, peoples, authorities, all will be liberated. This is the new state, a world with no boundaries will create. Neither nations nor nationalities have meaning. We will erase these unnecessary borders. The world with no boundaries will pen a new story. The world will change.
The battery's been hit! Fire! Have power for all facilities destroyed. Don't let the circuits short out.
That's
Take
one.
out the launch control devices before barriers close up and cover their facilities.
These barriers can even withstand nuclear attacks. Show them what Avalon is all about. I have to stop them from launching the V2. Can't let them destroy
There's
the
multiple
world.
places you can go in and out, but
All these oxygen valves are now open.
that is going to change. See, plenty of places you can go in and out.
Complete. Moving to phase 2.
Personally, I'd rather just fly the whole thing every time, because, as they just said, some of these shutters are going to close. And they can kind of start to close on you, and it's not great.
Locked on.
5 minutes to V2 launch.
But you're always guaranteed that the 2 shutters on the end will... Oh my god, no wonder I couldn't see anything. These 2 were always open.
Make our righteousness known to the world. Are these people insane? Avalon, this is the final destination.
Oh no, no, no. Put me back in first person view, please.
The control facility barriers are halfway closed. Move it, Golf Team.
Our facilities have been damaged. I'm detaching a module section.
There's one of the aces. Darting out of here, of all places.
Our facilities have suffered additional damage. We've lost the stabilizer and gyro systems.
Locked on. Golf 1, missile launched. All V2 control facilities have been destroyed.
We did it! We stopped the V2 launch! The fighting is over!
We're confirming the situation. Cypher, PJ, stand by.
Now the war is finally over. I got a girlfriend back at the base. I'm gonna propose to her when I get back. I even bought flowers.
Warning, unknown target approaching at high speed.
Break! Break! Ah! Dang it! yet? Buddy.
Confirmed reactivation of nuclear silo. GOM team, continue your mission. Engage. Stand by. We're analyzing the situation.
Here comes the snow.
Shoot down the enemy. I'll run a plane analysis and fill you in ASAP.
Forces who run a long time on the battlefield start to think they're invincible. I bet you do too, buddy.
Phase 1 analysis complete.
Viper? Come on, let's go back home. We want to keep anyone waiting for you.
So this is the hidden truth about the war. And this is where his trail ends as well. The impact of the 7 nuclear detonations on the world's psyche was great. Those who witnessed the carnage went on to organize a global arms reduction. Perhaps they were admonishing themselves. Furthermore, the existence of V2 was concealed. The events that occurred after the war faded from people's memories, and these men were also sealed away from history. Maybe this was one path to achieve peace. And here the curtain falls on this story. However, that does not mean their own stories came to an end.
A nation is comprised of the individuals who live in its borders. It can only become a nation when it is supported by those individuals. But mercenaries who cross lines in allegiance for money have no country to protect. They only fight for their own power and fame. But if that was the case, then why did I lose to him? Maybe not having the burden of a nation allows you to fly faster.
I bailed out and landed here. The captain was gone. I've lived a comfortable life since then, and I probably have him to thank for that. They ring the bells here at dusk to honor the liberation of the capital. It signals peace, but to me, they are the sounds of death.
Is the man still alive? Though I guess it's hard for bad guys like us to die. The real heroes always manage to die first. But guys like him, Solo Wing, and me, we live the rest of our lives in hell. But then again, being alive is proof that we were good.
Marcela Vasquez, the Espada team's #2 and former member of the Sapan Air Force, 9th Air and Land Division, 11th Tactical Fighter Squadron. She is thought to be a survivor of the Coup d'etat squadron. She currently earns a living as a dancer.
If the Demon Lord hadn't appeared, our lives might have been different. For me, it wasn't about flying or ideals. Most of all, it was about him, my flight lead. Our mission was to escort the heavy command cruiser that was to act as transportation for the organization. And the Demon Lord appeared, as if to block our path. I will never forget his overwhelming power. One by one, my comrades were shot down, and then the mother bird we were supposed to protect. We survived after the fight. We left our organization and returned to the ground together. But he was heavily wounded. He soon passed away, leaving me behind. We were only able to spend a short time together in peace and quiet. But I don't blame anyone. The regret and suffering that remained after that battle were also what he had given me. They're among the precious few things he left behind.
Anton Kunchenko, thought to be head director of A World with No Boundaries, former member of the Belkan Air Force, 18th Air Division, 5th Tactical Fighter Squadron. In his glory days, he was a Belkan ace, and later became head of their Department of Weapons Development and Technology. But the military sent him back out on the front lines as a commander. In March of 1995, he suddenly disappeared along with his platoon and was never accounted for after that. The Belkan Air Force announced that he died in combat. Several months after that, his corpse was found close to the Belkan border. The whole story is still shrouded in mystery. Larry Falk, also known as Solo Wing Pixie. GALM Team's number 2, and member of the Ustio Air Force, 6th Air Division, 66th Air Force Unit. That's right. This man was his buddy, and his enemy.
I should have died that day, but I didn't. I dragged my wounded body and reached ground zero of the nuclear detonations. A barren, empty land. I felt an unbearable sadness when I witnessed that landscape. There were still people living there. They were the ones that saved me. It may be true that the world has no need of borders, but would getting rid of them really change anything? The world won't change for the better unless we trust people. Trust is vital in a peaceful world. But that will never happen. I'm still on the battlefield. Right now I'm near a border. I want to see for myself what borders really mean, and what their volition really is. I may not find what I'm looking for, but I still want to try. Anyway, that's what I've come to believe, and I think that's enough. Will he see this video? If you do meet him, give him a message for me. Yo, buddy. Still alive? And thanks, friend. See you again.
The Demon Lord of the Round Table. A warrior who soared through the Belkan War, inspiring both fear and admiration. His presence filled the skies for but a few short months before he disappeared. Apart from that, nothing is known about him. I was never able to find out what kind of a person he really was. But whenever they talked about him, they always had a slight smile on their faces. That, perhaps, may be my answer.
And that wraps up Ace Combat Zero. Up next we'll be playing its direct sequel, and the game that came out right before it, Ace Combat 5. Probably gonna try to start it tomorrow. It's a little bit longer. Ace Combat Zero is relatively short, even by Ace Combat standards. Again, I do wish they had a few more missions to kinda pad a few things out. There are plenty of things that you don't get in one playthrough. Again, there are some important named characters that we didn't see ever. Play more interviews, more Ace Squadrons, secret mission, secret plane to unlock. You want to pilot the Morgan? Well, go unlock it. just absolutely love how they frame this story with bringing in all these interviews with the random people, just having lives in a world where they just don't need to flesh out like this, but they do anyway. I still say Pixie is one of the absolute best final bosses in any game. It's an absolutely great set piece. The way they force you to fight him in a certain way in the end, very interesting. Not to mention the laser and burst missiles. All makes for a really great finale. Wondering why there's so many shots of random farms. It's because one of the interviews you can get is, I believe it's Silver Team's leader, goes on to become a farmer. There's nothing super amazing about the credits or anything. God, they just nailed the soundtrack, and I wanted to let it play out a little bit longer. Alright, I will see y'all in the next one. Yep, it is indeed one of the great games.